So I managed to get myself somewhat ready for the day. I'm got dressed, done a bit of makeup. Hair is still a bit messy, but what can you do? So I thought I'd just sit down and take this time to tell you a little bit about the twins. So the twins' names are Samuel and Alexander, and they just go by Sam and Alex. They were born on 14th of May 2016, and they were 10 weeks early. There was no real sign of me going into labour. Had a bit of stomach ache and I was kept in hospital for 4 days. I felt absolutely fine. I was waiting to go home each day, and on the 4th day they said we're going to deliver them because I was having contractions and it wasn't getting any better. I couldn't really feel them. So I guess it's quite lucky for me. The other mums out there don't have it so easy. But yeah, they did come 10 weeks early. They weighed £2.13 and £2.15. I had them by C-section, and they, as I said, they had to stay in for 5 weeks. But now they're 18 weeks on. Well, they will be 18 weeks on Saturday, and they weigh £10.7 and £11.5. That was the last time I got them weighed, so they're doing really well. Just got some notes on my phone to help me think of things. So I'll just go through a little bit through our routine on a typical day. I have them throughout the day as their dad works about 8 till 4, those hours. So the twins will typically get up about the same time, both of them the same time. It's normally between 5 and 8, can vary in the morning, so it's quite a long time scale when they'll get up. And they'll have their first bottle, so they're taking 140 mils. In a minute, I've got their bottles here, that's about 5 ounces. They have these dark brown bottles, if anyone else uses them. They're meant to be really good for colic, so they suffered with that at the beginning, so we use those bottles and they're really, really good. Yeah, so they have about 140 mils, about 5 ounces. And then sometimes they have a bit more, sometimes a bit less, whatever they fancy doing really. And then sometimes they'll stay awake for a couple of hours, other times they'll go straight back to sleep after that, as if it's a continuation of the night. But if they are up, then it can be for up to 2 to 3 hours, and that's the time where they're sort of at the most happiest throughout the day, lots of smiles and they're wanting to play. And things like that. But if they do manage to take a nap, that's when I'll take the time to get myself ready, have a cup of tea, have some breakfast, and try and catch up on some TV, just have a bit of me time to do some things like that, if I'm lucky. So if they do sleep, then this first nap sits quite a while, normally like 2 hours, and then they'll wake up and they'll have another bottle. And that's when, if I haven't managed to get them dressed or get them all dressed the first time, then I'll finish getting them dressed. And then they're sort of ready for the day then, and hopefully I'm already ready for the day. If sort of if we're not planning to go out anywhere, then it's a bit more relaxed. Maybe I won't be dressed, or I'll just sort of have a bit of a lazy day with them, depending on their mood and how I'm doing. So they go for around 12 bottles a day, 6 bottles each, so it means that we're constantly sterilising. I think the steriliser holds 6 bottles, so it definitely needs to go on at least twice a day, if not more. Sometimes they'll take more than that, or they'll be messing around, so they'll need a different bottle. So it's happening pretty much constantly. Oh, I hear Alex. Hopefully they'll stay asleep. Yeah, so if we're deciding that we're going to go out for the day, when we're all ready, we'll sort of get ready packing up bottles, formula for them, nappies, change of outfits, just the usual as you would with one baby, but we obviously need double. Then we get them into their car seats, take them down to the car. Obviously one has to wait there in the car while they then come and get the other, and then put the pram. We have an eye candy pram which the car seats clip on, so we have to put the pram into the car and all the adapters because it's a double. So then we're finally ready, so it can take sometimes up to 20 minutes just to get us all in the car seats, in the car, get the pram ready, get everything in the car ready to go. They feed normally it's about every 3 hours during the day. Sometimes they'll go up to 5 hours, sometimes they're hungry after 2 hours if they haven't taken the full feed, the previous feed before. So that's normally roughly, it is every 3 hours during the day. So say if we're out, I'll take bottles with us and feed them then. If we're in, then we'll just sort of work around them. I'll do things in the house, do laundry, watch the telly, do some sterilising while they're asleep, or if they're awake, I'll be playing with them on the floor, do some tummy time until they want the next feed. Then normally their dad comes home about 4:30, 5 o'clock-ish, and that's sort of when we start the evening, and they'll about that time due a feed, so it's an extra pair of hands luckily, so they'll come in and they'll have a feed. Again, sometimes they'll take another nap, and that's when we'll tend to try and have dinner, although it's quite rare now that we can eat together. Often it's one person will eat while the other one's with the twins, and then we'll swap round. But if they do take a nap after that feed, then obviously that gives us time to eat together and just have a bit of time to watch some TV, watch a film, if we are lucky, and that is quite rare because, as I say, there is 2 of them, so you are constantly on the go. It's not like you can think, oh, one baby's asleep now, we've got some time, because you're constantly thinking the other one's going to be up in a minute, so it can be a struggle. So where was I up to? Yeah, so they're normally fed about 5 or 6ish when the dads come home. They'll either be up playing for a bit or they'll have another nap. Normally they'll go down to sleep for the night anywhere between 7 and 9. So that is, again, it's like with the morning, it's quite a long time to wonder if they're going to go down for the night or not. Sometimes they'll have last feed at 7 and then they'll be flat out and that's it. Or they'll have one at 7 and then they'll be awake still. Other times they'll just won't want one at that time and they'll go all the way till 9. So we just kind of go with the twins at the minute because, you know, they're so young still, so getting them into a routine is still quite difficult. So we just let them do whatever they wish to do at the minute, and we'll worry about that when they're a bit older. So they have their last feed, and these two, neither of them will go down in their cot and just fall asleep. They have to be rocked to sleep. So that is quite challenging for us because it takes up sort of a lot of the time where you think, right, it's their bedtime now and you want to sit down, and they're needing to be rocked to sleep, which can take 5 minutes or it can take half an hour. Sometimes we'll rock them, put them down, and then they wake up. So that's again something that we spend some time on doing, because we want to know that once they're asleep, they're going to stay asleep for a few hours. So we normally rock them to sleep, put them down in their cot, which is still in our room, and they are sharing a cot at the minute. They're either end, sort of head end, foot end, facing that way. So they'll go down to sleep, and then they will normally sleep about 3 hours at a time. It is getting longer, so they'll be up sort of twice a night each. So that's, say they went to sleep at 10, they'll be up about 1, and then maybe about 4ish, and then then they'll be up in between 5 and 8 for their day. So it's not too bad. They used to be up 3 times each, sometimes 4 times each when they were very newborn and they first came home. So we are enjoying that it's just twice a night, give or take. Sometimes one of them might just be up once, which is obviously really, really lucky for us, but it's definitely getting longer. So that is a little bit about Sam and Alex. So as I say, they're still asleep at the moment. I've got ready, so now I'm just going to sit down, watch some TV, have some breakfast, and then I will wait for them to wake up, and then we'll decide what we're going to do then with the day.